So I played against 1100 Elobot and I got a checkmate, and let's talk about this game. E4, and we do the scotch and right here we win the knight and we pin the knight and we mess up their pawn structure right out of opening. And I play this looks like a passive move, right? But at the same time I'm stopping any idea of the pawn pushing, right? Because I mean I already have that, to which they push that. I'm not gonna take, right? This is to fiend cattle the bishop, and they give me free pawn. I mean, we are playing against 1100 Elobot, so they're obviously gonna not make the best moves if you know how to think like a 1500, for instance. And right here, I could have pushed, to which takes, and I take, and I'm coming with with attack on the bishop. But what happens when the bishop goes here? Looks like I'm gonna lose this pawn. So not only do I lose that pawn, I take that pawn, but then we're losing this pawn, which I don't want to do that. And right here, this is simple. I take, the rook gets activated. They might even threaten my bishop. My bishop doesn't have any defender there, so it's gonna be a problem. So like once the rook goes there, I have to move the bishop, and my bishop is gonna get attacked throughout the whole game. Right here, when the bishop comes checking me, I do like this, which first of all eliminates the bishop from attacking. Second, it stops this pawn from pushing here to put pressure on this pawn, forcing me to trade, and my rook getting it's staying stuck defending that pawn. I don't want to do that, right? And right here, when this came out, and this was my idea, you could go there, right? You could go there attacking this pawn, but then I get a check. And if you want to go back, I could check here and win that pawn or win that bishop for free, depending what you play, right? At the same time, if you want to go ahead and take, I take here with a check, and when you go up, I take that bishop, you take back, and then I believe I win that pawn at the end. And now I'm not so worried about this when the bishop goes, because what was my plan? I mean, yeah, but then we go for the same thing. Yeah, they win that, but then my king is here now, so it's different. Yeah, now I see the idea behind it. So if I take the bishop and the rook comes here, I could just drop my bishop back to where it is, or even get it more activated, right, to a square like this or like that, or even here threatening this pawn, because if the king goes there, yeah, if the king goes this way, you're gonna lose that pawn, and then I could just stay here, stopping your king from getting into the game. But if you go this way, after I take a rook there, I come here and I'm threatening that, and one of your pieces is gonna be stuck defending that, and the last square bishop is gone. So to my knight, which I would love that trade. And right here, this is I wouldn't say it's a mistake. It's not pinning my knight. Very first thing, my knight is free to move. That's first. Second, my knight is defended twice. You're not threatening the knight. On top of that, if I go ahead and take a piece, you can't take, because my rook gets into the game, and I'm gonna wait for you to trade into me. And yeah, your rook could come right here, to which my bishop is taken. But if your rook goes there, my bishop is gonna drop up there, and if you wanna go up there, then I guess I would have to give up on that. But anyways, right here, when I'm attacking the rook and they move the king, attacking the knight, not realizing that's a free piece, right? So in here, would I rather get a free piece, like that's just a free piece, no foul, no harm, right? Or would I rather trade my knight into a rook, and like I get a rook and I get two rook for my knight? Looking at the position, my bishop and my rook are gonna work together. Great, right? And this two bishop, although yeah, they control a lot of square, but the rook is more stronger than two bishop, I think, combined with one of the bishops. Although I see the idea, that's a free bishop, just take it, no foul, no harm. But at the same time, I like that better. I'm sure, and now looking at it, it's a mistake because the bishop was free. This was a trade-off. But it's still, I like this idea, because now I bring my rook out, and they move the king, and we take this pawn. We take that pawn, they take this pawn, and we take the bishop, and then now we're threatening everything. So again, these are not the best moves. Why would you give up your bishop for a pawn? Yeah, you're threatening that one, but your bishop is a goner, right? On top of that, you should really be putting pressure on this pawn in the center, right? There takes, and then take with the bishop. I take, your pawn takes, and then you bring the king in. Although that's not going to do anything, that's just going to simplify the game. It simplify the game. My rook is in the game, which is stopping everything, and my king is there to stop your king from getting past here. So right here, when they came here, this is what I saw. They're taking that, right? To which my bishop is already defending it. I could move it a square. But like, why? I'm just helping the king get to the pawn faster, right? Versus when I leave it right there, if they take, we take back, no foul, no harm. On top of that, this pawn is attacked twice, and even let's say they push the pawn, we bring the rook check, and let's say the king moves somewhere right there, and then we grab the pawn and we go on. But right here, they did the Bobby Fischer, to which the bishop is trapped. Although there's ideas like this to break through, that if I don't take, right, you're gonna take with the pawn, and if I take, you take, and you get out with your bishop, and you get a pawn for free and another one, right? Or even if I take, your bishop gets out and you're doing okay. But this position is different. I mean, if my rook wasn't there, I'm simply gonna bring the king here, let you take back, and you can't take, you lose the bishop, right? And if you do something like that, I take, you take, I take. Different position, but same idea. That pawn is a goner, the bishop is a goner to one of my pawn. But because my rook is there, it's easier to just go ahead and grab the pawn and threaten the bishop. And now my pawn takes, which is similar position in a different way. Now here's the thing. This pawn is ready to queen in 1, 2, 3 move. But why do I move this pawn? It is because the bishop is protecting this pawn, so that pawn is not gonna get attacked, and the king cannot cross this way or even cross this way. Like they can't, like, this is their border, right? Or matter of fact, this is their border and this is their border. So like, if they're right there, they could come here, but they have to go back. They could come here, but they can't go there, so they just have to go back, right? Therefore, the king can get to this pawn once I push it. And then if I put the rook behind it, yeah, the king could stay right there, to which my king could come, get rid of the pawn, and now you have to move, and I promote to a queen, and I bring the rook in. But I like this because your pawn is not going anywhere. It's walking into its own destiny, right? Your king cannot get to the rook because of this pawn. Like, this is a shield for my rook, because yeah, if your king could go right there, yeah, you could take, but since you can't go there or there, you can't take. And this is how we checkmate, by keeping the king in the corner and promoting to a queen.